Chew on this NFL talk. We review the 2011 season and preview the 2012 season of each division. The Chew on this cast of Bob Alvis, Scott Wilson, and Will Castle. In this episode, we break down the AFC South. Moving on to the AFC South, the Indianapolis football Colts. They fired the Napoleons, which I find interesting. They have a big decision to make. I think it obviously has made it a little bit easier. If you can't tell me Jim Irsay and everybody didn't know that Manning was going to be out. I don't think that's possible, that they didn't have any clue until it happened. I think they had to know that he was seriously injured.
But
I don't think he ever plays again for the record.
But it's one of those, it's not like they would have done anything different from the draft from last year.
No. But would you have gone and gotten a younger quarterback over? I mean, the whole thing is nobody knows that system like Manning does.
Here is the Indianapolis Colts are the epitome of what happens because of a lockout. They were not able to prepare for Manning being out.
And I almost kind of put an asterisk on this season anyway, just because, you can't, but, people didn't have that full time to instill. I really don't think.
But here's one thing we'll say. You had 16, 17 weeks of football. You ain't got anything by then.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, I don't think anybody does, to hop real quick, I don't think Kevin Cobb deserves to be traded again or viewed as he's not the guy in Arizona. I don't think he had enough time really to, and plus he was hurt, but I don't think he had enough time to, really know what was going on. If the Colts trade or release Peyton Manning, would you want him as a Redskins fan?
Sure.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to do that, but yeah.
But, I guess this is you don't think what? Which one?
That they would trade or release Manning.
Do 23
I have a wildly different opinion than you on this. I think that the Colts are best served by trading the number one pick.
I agree. I absolutely agree with that, but,
I think Peyton's going to play next year. I think he'll...
But what if he doesn't? What if you don't know about that neck?
I have to feel like, at this point, they have a good feeling about his future. They know. And
we don't. So, what if, what if that neck is hurt?
When's draft? April?
The end of April.
The end of April. I'm GM, president. Who the hell?
You don't have one right now, but...
I forget. Was Holland president or GM?
Both. Kind of.
Okay.
Irsay is the...
It's kind of 1 and 6 and 1 half dozen the other, yeah.
So if I'm the person doing the draft, the night before, I sit Peyton's lumpy ass in that chair and have him look me square in the eye saying, "Can you play?"
Think you got to do it more than the night before?
No. You got plenty of... No, because that's because if no one knows, you can make so many deals right before. You have the entire... Have your plan mapped out, but Peyton, can you go? Are you 100% go? If the answer is no, if you're only 90%, take that. You keep that pick and you get luck.
I think it's hard to keep a secret nowadays in the media or in sports.
Yeah, but you're in Indianapolis. That's barely a state.
But with Twitter and everything else, and plus Irsay's got a big mouth.
Yeah, but how many people knew about Manning missing the season right before it happened? They had to know before we did.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. But it's going to look fishy, if something strange happens at the 11th hour.
That's what makes it good.
I know, but you don't think that somebody.
Here's the thing: if you're dealing with someone besides Peyton Manning who knows this league and knows how to probably keep his mouth shut. Then he's getting on the Twitter and you have no...
But the other thing, too, is, they're not going to conduct a trade without somebody having to pass a physical.
No, your picks, Bubba. You just get picks.
Right, but I don't understand. Apparently I don't understand now.
If Peyton cannot go, you take your pick and you take Andrew.
Right.
If he says he can go, you get picks for him. You trade down. Yeah. You get your 4 or 5 picks, over the next couple years, and you rebuild that team.
I don't think this situation is black and white as much as you do. personally. I think, I bring in the best neuro neck specialist in the world.
Oh, yeah,
See, too bad it's not the leg. It's James Andrews.
I don't care if he speaks English or what, as long as he can say. He looks at the
thumbs up, thumbs
down. Shake your head. No, shake your head. Yes. I mean, James Andrews is more of an arm guy too. I think both.
Okay, well then bring in Aaron Andrews.
Yeah. I mean, and her extensions. I think it's a situation where if they go with Andrew Luck and they say, we don't think Peyton Manning, we don't think you have 2 or 3 more years left. I've seen some people say, I hope whoever they draft is the biggest bust in the history of the world. I'm not sold on Andrew Luck. I mean, I don't say he's going to be a failure, but I don't say he's going to be Peyton Manning. I mean, to me, Peyton Manning's coming out once in a lifetime.
We didn't know Peyton Manning would be Peyton Manning. I mean, it's a crapshoot. But again,
all drafts are crapshoots.
As I've said, Indianapolis is not going to. They're not going to look. People are not going to look back and say, "Oh, they shouldn't have taken Luck." No one's going to say that,
right?
Because Luck has been told you're the number 1 pick 2 years ago.
I think this is a situation too to where if they somehow release Peyton Manning, and I don't think you can totally 100% blame them if they do, because they only like 23, somewhere in the neighborhood of 23 to 27.
And here's like, if they were, and I was listening to Mike and Mike a few days ago. Someone said if they release him, they're saying, Peyton, we're going to release you. You can pick whatever team you want to go to. It's up you choose your own adventure. At that point, we're not going to decide for you.
I don't think it's going to be, a happy parting to a degree. I think Peyton Manning would have the biggest chip on his shoulder
in the
history of the world.
Pick someone who plays them week 1.
I think he would. I don't think it matters. I think whoever he goes to, he is going to will that. He is going to want to will that team to the Super Bowl.
And he might.
And give a big finger to Irsay at the end.
I think Peyton might be a little too classy.
Okay, well, somebody else will do it. Archie will do it.
There you go.
Let's
get the Manning brother to make a
scan down to the south here. I think Jacksonville solved a lot of questions with Maurice Jones-Drew. I think for people that thought he was washed up, that might be a different story. It's hard to blame Ronnie Bass too for year 1 when he was thrown in there. I mean, why they released David Garrard at the beginning, I'll never
that
know.
And canning Del Rio.
Yeah, well, I mean, Del Rio was going to get canned.
Yeah. Well, and let's face it.
But I agree with Mr.
Garrard get cut
coaches in the year.
Was the same move that Del Rio pulled when he made Garrard the starter and cut Leftwich. Correct? Years back?
Yeah. Sort of.
Del Rio's like, let's make this big splash, and it just kind of,
Surprising that Garrard never ended up anywhere.
It was almost like Garrard didn't want to after
what point,
because then he said he was going to have back surgery.
So is he done? Is he not going to play anywhere anymore?
I don't think he. Well, I don't know. I mean, next year. I mean, and no one really mentions him in the free agency department. Tennessee. I think the future is Jake Locker. I don't know if Matt Hasselbeck is even back this season, even though I think he played very, very well.
He did.
Chris Johnson needs to get his feet on straight.
Yeah.
They were, I think, overachieved a little bit this year.
Tennessee always overachieved.
Well, they had a new coach. I mean,
always they overachieve. And will he be back?
The new coach?
Munchak?
Yeah. Rumor has it he's torn on Penn State.
Oh, really?
I thought Penn State was hiring that New England guy. That fall through?
I don't know, but I mean, if Munchak wants the Penn State job, I think he probably gets it over Bill O'Brien, just because he's the alum and everything. But right now, I think it would be a questionable move. The Houston Texans, get healthy. Get healthy, and you're right there.
Yeah. I really wonder if they're going to draft a quarterback this year, just in case, because Shaw seems to get hurt every year.
I don't think so.
I don't think with their first round pick.
I think if the Texans don't get to the playoffs, even though I know what they did this year, but I think with full roster healthy, and that includes Mario Williams too on the defensive end. Didn't they lose somebody else defensively?
They might have.
Okay, apparently he wasn't good. If Scott can't remember it then, because I thought it was somebody else good. If they don't get to the playoffs next year and win a game, I think Kubiak's out.
Well, they should definitely win the division next year.
I think even if Peyton comes back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
how many other problems the Colts have?
Yeah, I was going to say, and the Colts have some free agents too. One of them is pretty important to re-sign to Reggie Wayne, and especially because I don't see Peyton just having his eyes light up if
honestly, I think Reggie waits to find out. You staying or going?
Right.
If you going, I'm going.
I don't know if Reggie and Peyton are best buds, but I'll bet Reggie likes winning.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't like 1 or 2 and 14.
Yeah.